Hey guys, this is Shan. Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. This is episode 44, and this episode is talking about why your kids need books. Okay? The kids need to be reading, doesn't matter what the age, or you need to be reading to them. Alright? Important. Books, man. I love books personally. I have a bookshelf full of books, my books I bought over the decade, books I have from college. I've lost so many books through moving from New York to Florida, from Florida to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Philly. Like, I've got so many books all over the place. The books I let people borrow that they don't bring back. Y'all know who y'all are. But I just love books, and I love learning about things I may not know. I love learning about things I want to know. I keep a lot of books around my kids. I haven't been reading to them at night as often as I should. My fault. I've just been super consumed in what's currently going on in my life and packing up the house, getting ready to move. And it's just been very busy, but there's no excuse on why you're not open up the floodgates of your children's minds, no matter what your schedule is. So I'm going to make an effort for me to work out before bed and read to them more before bed. I packed up most of their books so I can move, because my 1-year-old likes to just take the books off of the bookshelf and put it on the floor. So I packed up most of the books. I do have a library card where I try to take them to the library. Most of the time on Tuesday afternoons, I like to take them to the library, or Friday afternoons, I like to take them to the library after I get off of work and I pick her up. But reading to them is super, super important, just because reading to your kids is going to give them their own ideas about what they can and can't do. It's going to allow them to explore their creative side when they see pictures and colors. It's going to allow them to want to figure it out, like what's going to happen in the story before you do. And the only way they can do that is, 1, by looking at the pictures, and 2, by knowing what the words say. And communication between you and your child and other people is going to be a lot better if you read to them on a consistent basis, or if they, look at books and try to explain what it is. Of course, if you have multiple children, having an older sibling and a younger sibling, the younger one's going to learn a lot faster, because the older one is talking around them all the time and doing things, and they want to do it too. So I have noticed that my 1-year-old is a lot more talkative before Anya was when she was younger. But, I'm not rushing anything, because when I tell you that girl can talk, and some of the words you can't understand her right now, and some of the words you can't, but the fact that she's already a chatterbox, I am terrified. Reading will introduce more vocabulary to a child, and it introduces new words to a child. They learn to listen better when you read to them, because when you're reading to them, 1, they have to be quiet so they can hear the story, and 2, they have to sit still. So they learn, to take a chill pill, learn to take a time out. Because when you think about it, when you send them to school, that's going to help their teacher out, so they don't have to be disciplining children on their first time sitting down and being quiet to listen to a story. If they're used to it, they're going to know exactly what to do. And teaching your child is going to be more of a breeze than teaching a child that never had a story read to them. They're going to be more attentive. They're going to be more eager to explore creating by themselves versus someone always showing them what to do, their social skills are going to be a lot better because they're going to have a lot more to say because they see a lot more, they hear a lot more. I just don't understand, why wouldn't you want to read to a child? And when you read to a child, don't read it in like a boring way. Like, read it like an exciting way. Like, I remember being in elementary school, and the teacher would always like pick on me to read because when I read stuff, I read it how it was written. So like, if a word was like dragged out and it said, "Oh, he rushed to such and such," I would read it with the excitement that the word is giving, because a lot of people read a story like, let's say for instance, why kids need books. Like, nobody wants to listen to you if you read it like that. But if you say in a way, why do kids need books? I might want to figure out why they need books. Because of the way that you read it. And you have to make it exciting for kids, because kids want to be entertained while they're being taught. And if you can entertain a child while you're teaching them, hello, we have a winner. Hello, they're going to listen. And just because your child is, in preschool doesn't mean you can only read preschool books to them. Just because they're in first grade doesn't mean you can only read first grade books to them. Read them things that they probably can't read yet, so they can have like a goal to achieve a certain level of reading in order to read that big book. I remember when I was younger, my mom bought like a whole bunch of encyclopedias, and I would just pick a letter and just go through the books. Big textbook. She had this huge medical textbook, and the reason why I really liked the book as a child was because it had like the grossest pictures in there of like rashes and different like ways to treat whatever you had that looked gross. So whether it was the measles, the mumps, an outbreak of poison ivy, she had like a picture book, textbook, a medical book that showed you like what it was, how to treat it and everything, which came in super handy for her because she always had kids at the house. But I always loved to flip to the middle of the book to see the pictures because I was a sick child. Not like sick, like sick, like just like I like to see things that were gross as a kid. So I would always like to look into the book. Anything like scary that I probably wasn't supposed to look at, I was one of those kids that I wanted to see it. And I have a 4-year-old who's just like that. She wants to see, like, we watch the Pimple Popper, that doctor, the Instagram videos, all the time. On YouTube, we watch her all the time. And now that she has her show on TLC, we watch it all the time. But their curiosity is going to be through the roof the more that you read to them. And I think you should look into reading to them more often than none. Have fun when you read, period. Like, basically be very expressive when you read. Take turns when you're reading to your kids. Meaning, you read one night and then let them read to you one night, even if they're not reading it exactly word for word. See what word they're trying to pronounce and help them. See what word they're trying to skip over and tell them what it is and let them reread it to say it. That's going to help their speech. That's going to help them be, in their heads about like, okay, it's okay, I don't know that word. My mom's going to help me. Or my dad's going to help me. Or my brother's going to help me. Or my sister's going to help me. Like, you're helping a child so much when you read to them or when you let them read for themselves. You're helping them have more possibilities as to what they can do. You're helping them personality-wise to figure out what they like and what they don't like. You're giving them choices when they can pick a book off of a library bookshelf. Going to the library is free. Your kids can go to the library and get a library card. They can use the computer at the library. You're not paying anything. So I'm not understanding, like, if you can't buy books for your kids right now, you can go to the library and get a free library card. And they can Look at the books all in the library all day until you're ready to leave. They can color in the library. They can play in the library. There's a library by my house, and they do chess, like a chess club, every Saturday and Sunday at the library. Like, there's so many options for your kid at the library. And the best thing about being at the library when I was younger is not knowing what book you're going to pick up. There's so many options of what book you can pick up, and being able to look at the different artwork in the book, and your imagination is just like on 10, just going and going and going. And there's just so many ideas you're getting from what you're seeing in the book, what you're reading in the book, what you're hearing in the book. And I feel like it's up to us to help our kids explore that, and they can only explore that the more that they're exposed to it. You don't necessarily have to buy every book you see. Barnes and Nobles are still around in some areas, and I do go out of where I am in order to go to a Barnes and Noble, because a kid deserves to have some downtime to be in a store where they're surrounded by books and options and colors and shapes and all of that. All of that is going to push new thoughts and a new vision and give your child something to aim towards. That's why you should read to your child. Reading to your child is going to make them better in every way. You know, when Anya's out now, she's 4, she reads street signs. She reads t-shirts that people have on. She reads labels. She reads food signs when she sees it on. At the end of the day, people, parents, friends, aunts, uncles, just read to the kids, okay? Read to them. It's going to help their speech. I'm already in the South. You know what I'm saying? I need my kids to be on a higher level of learning, and that's going to start with their reading. My name is Shan. I'm a parent of 2. I understand the schedule, but fit in a book a day with them. Doesn't matter if they already go to school. You fit in a book a day with them. All right? Peace.